Good evening. How are you? We're going to sing a hymn. Well, we're not going to sing. I keep wanting to sing a hymn, but we're not going to sing this one. The Everlasting Arms. I've just glanced over the words real quick, and because I don't think I've ever sung the song, the hymn. I pray this will be a tremendous encouragement to you. Are you sunk in depths of sorrow? Friends, you might not today, but you will find yourself in depths of sorrow at some point in your Christian life. You will. When no arm can reach so low, and you'll be at a place where no one can help you. Friends, and sometimes God allows that. You know, the church isn't always the answer. It's Jesus. Sometimes Jesus brings you on the backside of the desert just so you can be alone with him and so nobody else can interfere with what he wants to do in your life. And to make that another illustration, friends, you can't help the butterfly out of its cocoon, otherwise you'll kill it. That butterfly has to struggle and wrestle and fight to get out of the cocoon so it has the strength to fly. So sometimes we put too much emphasis on the church. You need Jesus, period. And sometimes he'll take you away from people and put you on the backside of the desert. That's what they're saying here, friends. No arm, no man can comfort you, can help you. And Jesus will do that. He's done it in my life. I know what I'm talking about. It's part of my testimony, friends. It happens in the Bible, too. You think of Esther. Esther was all alone. All alone. She didn't have a church. She didn't have a group. She didn't have a women's group. She had to go into that carnal kingdom all alone. Same thing with Daniel. Yeah, there was a time when he was with his buddies, but he got promoted up here. You know? Joseph. Friends, Moses. There was many times, friends, God calls us alone. You can disagree with me or not. I just showed you in the Bible, there's times where God calls you alone to deal with you. Now, you can be selfish and just not want to be accountable. That's different. Okay, those are different things. Well, I'm just kind of encouraging you. You'll be in that place where there's no human help. There is one whose arms almighty reach beyond thy deepest woe. Somehow he's able to reach beyond the pain in our heart. There was times in my life where I would cry. I cried myself to sleep 3 months straight. And I was happy. My kids were grown. My kids were raised. And I didn't want to kill myself, but I prayed for 3 months every night. Lord, I don't want to wake up. I don't want to wake up. I'm good. I love you. I'm going to heaven. My kids are raised. I just don't wake me up in the morning. Well, here I am. God didn't listen to me. God didn't answer that prayer. There's some prayers, friends, God doesn't answer. You should be thankful for that. Well, I was in my deepest woe, and his arms were underneath me. God the eternal is thy refuge. Let it still thy wild alarms. Most of those wild alarms are up here in our head. He wants to still them. Underneath thy deepest sorrow are thy everlasting arms. Underneath thee are the everlasting arms. You know, sometimes that's why we don't see Jesus, right? Because we're out looking up here, we're looking everywhere. He's underneath us. He's down at our feet, washing our feet, bearing our burdens. To bear things, friends, you got to come underneath it. Yeah, he's down. Other arms grow faint and weary. These can never faint nor fail. Others reach our mounts of blessing. These, our lowest, loneliest vale. See that, friend, this was written by somebody who walked through those valleys of the shadow of death. We don't preach on them quite often, do we? We should. We should, because I know there's people in the audience, in the congregation that are going through it. And Jesus wants to meet their needs. And Jesus wants you to know that when you go through that valley of the shadow of death, friends, he's underneath you, carrying you. He's carrying you. He's your everything, friends. Your strength, your wisdom, your ability, your sanity. He's my sanity. I'm an insane person without Jesus. I'm an emotional person. Oh, that all might know his friendship. Oh, that all might see his charms. Oh, that all might have beneath them Jesus' everlasting arms. Friends, it's in those, see, that's the thing that we don't understand. It's in those moments of our deepest distress, our deepest darkness, our deepest pain, that we sense him the nearness. You sense him near the most in those moments, friends. So as hard as they are, they draw you closest to Jesus. You sense his arms holding you. Underneath us, oh, how easy we have not to mount on high, but to sink into his fullness, and in trustful weakness lie. If you listen to me, I'll say it often, friends. It's a place of which God holds a what's the word I'm looking for? It's so precious. Your weakness. He wants to bring you, friends, to your utter dependence on him, and that's precious to God. It's precious when you're utterly dependent, when you're in your weakest, friends. That's when he can show who he really is on your behalf. Don't run from weakness. Don't run from pain. Stop trying to protect yourself. And we find our humbling failures. Oh, save us from the strength that harms. We may fail, but underneath us are the everlasting arms. Why do you think it says a righteous man falleth 7 times, but he gets back up? How does he get back up? Because of God's everlasting arms. Arms of Jesus, fold me closer to thy strong and loving breast, till my spirit on thy bosom finds its everlasting rest. Oh, friends, have you not experienced the rest of Jesus? And when time's last sands are sinking, shield my heart from all alarms, softly whispering, underneath thee are my everlasting arms. Underneath thee are God's everlasting arms, friends. And you can rest your weary head in his tremendous love for you. Amen. Amen. Have a wonderful night.